So you'll notice from the outline that the talk today is about laws governing our love of others. Now the reason why I wanted to discuss this subject with you is because what we're finding is a lot of people are doing some emotional processing work, and once they start getting into this emotional processing work, they start having these feelings that they seem to have these feelings that they can pretty much project any emotion in anybody and get away with it, and justifying it through the fact that they're processing their feelings, which is actually releasing something. And what I'd like to, and what the reason why we're covering a lot of these subjects now is we'd like to illustrate to you that that's actually not the case. If you process emotions, and in the process of dealing with different emotions, you purposefully or even unintentionally harm others in the process, right? What you're actually doing is also degrading your own soul condition. So we wanted to have a look at how we can process our emotions in such a way that we don't harm anybody or ourselves further. What I've found is that many have gone on the divine love path, started processing their emotions, and then they get to an emotion that's really quite intense, right? An emotion that's covered with a lot of rage or anger and quite intense in terms of its feelings underneath. They have quite a lot of fear maybe about that emotion. And so what they do then is they start projecting their anger and their fear around, but then justifying it as everybody else's law of attraction. Like, I'm angry with you and it's your law of attraction. Right, that kind of justification. Now, when we justify our own unloving behaviour, we're actually in quite a poor soul condition, and we're degrading our soul condition quite rapidly, actually. And this is why I wanted to discuss this subject with you today, as to how to actually work your way through different emotions, bearing in mind the different laws. Now, there is just one thing you need to remember out of all of this, and that is, if you were humble, none of this would happen. Can I say that again? If we were really humble, we wouldn't need to be having this conversation. The reason why is that humility does something. Remember, the definition of humility is a burning desire or passion to feel and experience all of my own emotion. Alright? So that's how I define humility. Now, remember that your emotion is a part of your soul. So when you have a burning desire or passion to feel and experience all of your own emotion, you're actually having a burning desire or passion to experience your own self. Or you could say you are actually having a burning desire or passion to love yourself when you're in this state of humility. So this is what we could call humility. Now, if I am in a state of humility, I really don't need to know any laws governing my conduct with others. Can you see why? Because if I'm in this state, I'm always going to be owning all of my own emotions at every moment, and I'm never going to be projecting emotions onto other people. And so therefore, I'm in a state of love when it comes to my relationships with others. Can you see that? So it's quite simple, isn't it? So remember, the divine truth, the actual highest laws, are very, very simple to understand and grasp. Here, it's not so easy sometimes to understand and grasp, but here they're very simple to understand, but they're not easy to apply. To do that, most of us have a large degree of difficulty. So while that's a very simple statement of what humility is and what humility means, to actually do it in practice is often so difficult that we get caught up in so many different really dark emotions that we finish up not practicing humility.